Hello guys, and welcome back to the FE exam review series where we solve FE problems that's going to help you pass your FE exam. In today's video, we'll be covering a thermodynamics section problem, specifically under part C, laws of thermodynamics. Now, the problem that we're going to cover today is very important for FE other disciplines and FE mechanical. And if you are currently studying for FE mechanical and you are looking for some good study resources, make sure to check out our course that we just launched. It's really going to help you guys pass your FE exam. Now, if you are taking FE other disciplines and you are interested in a course, well, we are going to launch also a course for FE other disciplines. So make sure to sign up here for any future updates. Now, let's take a look at the problem. So we have a closed system that contains steam with a mass of 2 kilograms. Initially, the steam has a quality of 60% and a pressure of 120 kilopascal. The steam is then heated at a constant pressure until it reaches a temperature of 250 degrees Celsius. And we want to determine the work done by the steam during this process. So couple things to note, guys, here is that we are giving a closed system, okay, and then we are also giving a constant pressure process. So with this, we can go to the reference manual and grab the equation to determine the work done. So if we go to the reference manual here under thermodynamics, we have the equations for the closed thermodynamic system, okay? And if we look at this equation here, so this is for constant system pressure process, which is what we have, okay? So we have a closed system, and then we also have a constant pressure process, which is same thing as Charles' law. So this is the equation that we're going to use to determine the work done by the steam. So let's go ahead and write this equation down. So this is the equation that we're going to use to determine the work done by the steam. Now, let's go ahead and expand this equation. So we have pressure times the change in volume, which is the same thing as volume at 2 minus volume at phase 1, okay? Now, the problem is we were not giving the volume, right? So, but what we can do here is we can rewrite this equation in terms of the specific volume, okay? And the reason why we want to do that is because we can get the specific volume at phase 2 and at phase 1 by looking at the steam tables and the superheated tables, okay? So I'm gonna stop here, and I want you guys to go ahead and pause this video, and I want you guys to finish this problem. Go ahead and finish it. It's very important that you guys attempt these problems. This is how you're gonna learn from your mistakes and then also just have a deeper understanding of the concepts, okay? So go ahead and pause it, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Now, if you were able to solve this problem, go ahead and let us know in the comments below what answer did you get. Okay, guys, so the first thing we got to do here is rewrite this equation in terms of the specific volume, okay? Now, there is this equation that relates the volume to the specific volume, and it's very important that you guys remember this equation. So if you don't know what already, make sure that you guys add it to your cheat sheets, okay? Now, make sure that you guys create your own cheat sheets as you're studying. It's very important that you guys do that and then add all the important equations. Also, we do have a cheat sheet that has very important concepts and equations that you need to know. Make sure that you guys download it here, okay? So that equation is, so we have the specific volume is equal to the volume over mass, okay? So now we want the volume in terms of the specific volume. So we just need to rewrite this equation. So we can do the volume is equal to the mass times the specific volume. Now let's go back to this equation and then just rewrite it. So we're going to have the pressure times the mass times the specific volume at phase 2 minus the mass times the specific volume at phase 1, okay? Now we can simplify this equation further by taking the mass out, okay? Because the mass is constant, it doesn't change. We have the same mass, so we can do mass times the pressure and then the specific volume at 2 minus the specific volume at 1. Now, if we take a look at this equation here, so we are giving the mass, we have the pressure, but we don't have the specific volume at 2 or the specific volume at phase 1. But we are giving enough information in the problem that we can solve for these variables. First, let's start with the specific volume at 1. Now, initially, we are giving the steam that has a quality of 60% and a pressure of 120 kilopascal. So let's write those values down. So quality is the same thing as X, and then we're just gonna go ahead and divide 60 by 100, so that way we can use it in the equation. So x is equal to 0.6, and then the pressure is equal to 120 kilopascal. Now, something guys to remember is that when you are giving the quality, that means that you have a mixture of saturated liquid and saturated vapor. And so for us to determine the specific volume at phase 1, what we're going to do is use the specific volume of two-phase system equation, and then from there, we're going to be able to determine the specific volume. So let's go ahead and take a look at the equation on the reference manual. Now, if you go to the thermodynamics section, here we are giving the specific volume of a two-phase system. Now, remember guys, we can only use this equation if we have a mixture of liquid and vapor, or if we are giving the quality. Now, I talk about this more in depth in this video here, so make sure that you guys check it out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the second equation, okay? So we're going to have V is equal to Vf plus X Vfg. Now, Vfg is given to you guys here. So it's going to be the specific volume of the saturated vapor minus the specific volume of the saturated liquid. Now, looking at this equation here, guys, the only variable that we have is X, the quality, which is 0.6. So we don't have the specific volume of the saturated liquid or the saturated vapor, but we were giving the pressure, which is 120 kilopascal. And then also, since we know that we have a mixture of liquid and vapor, as we mentioned earlier, we can use the steam table to determine these variables. But before we do that, let's go ahead and convert this pressure here into megapascal, because as you guys will see, that some of the pressures on the steam table are giving in terms of megapascal. So all we need to do is just divide 120 by 1,000, which is going to be 0.120. Okay, so that's how we convert from kilopascal to megapascal. So here we have the steam table, which is at the end of the thermodynamics section. Okay, so just make sure that you guys remember that, because you use a lot of these tables when you are solving thermodynamics problems. And we're going to take a look at the 0.120 megapascal. So just be careful guys here with the units, because this part here, these pressures are in kilopascal, and then these pressures are in megapascal. Okay, so we have 0.120. So the saturated liquid, or the specific volume of the saturated liquid, is going to be this value here. Okay, and then the specific volume of the saturated vapor, it's going to be this value here. Now, if you guys plug in these numbers in your calculator, you should get about 0.8520, and this is going to have the units of cubic meters per kilogram. Now, let's go ahead and solve for the specific volume at phase 2. So at phase 2, we have a pressure of 120 kilopascal. So note guys here that the pressure didn't change because we have a constant pressure process. That means the pressure remains constant. And then the steam reaches a temperature of 250 degrees Celsius. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at this temperature and compare to the saturation temperature, or the temperature that corresponds to the saturation pressure. Okay, so we're going to go back to the reference manual and we're going to take a look at the steam table. Okay, here we have the pressure of 0.120 megapascal, and the temperature that corresponds to that pressure is 105. Now, if we compare it to this temperature here, it is less than, okay, which means this temperature, which is 250, is going to be greater than the saturation temperature, which we said is 105, okay? So what this means is that we have a superheated steam, okay? Now, what I would like to do next is explain these concepts a little further using the TV diagram, so that way you guys understand these concepts better, okay? So here we have the temperature versus the specific volume diagram, and this line here represents what we have, okay? So here we have the saturation temperature, 105 degrees Celsius, and also keep in mind, guys, that this line has a constant pressure. So the pressure here is not changing. It's always going to be at 120 kilopascal. Now, initially, we said that we had a quality of 0.6 or 60%, which means that we are inside this dome, okay? So when we are inside this dome, that means that we have a mixture of liquid and vapor, okay? So the specific volume at phase 1 is somewhere about here, okay? So we have 60% of vapor and 40% of liquid, okay? So that's what we had. Now, after that, we heated the steam, okay? And we didn't change the pressure. We kept the pressure constant, but we increased the temperature until it reached 250 degrees Celsius. But our saturation temperature is 105 degrees Celsius. If we reach 250, that means we are somewhere here. And when we are here, that means we have superheated, okay? So remember, guys, inside the dome, we have a mixture of liquid and vapor, okay? And when we are here, that means we have a superheated steam. So when we are inside the dome, we always use the steam tables. And when we are in this region here, we always use the superheated tables. So for us to determine the specific volume at phase 2, we're going to go to the superheated tables and grab the value. Now, if we go to the superheated tables, note, guys, here that we don't have a table for a pressure of 0.120, which means we're going to have to interpolate between 0.1 and 0.2, okay? Because 0.12 is between these two values, okay? So for the pressure of 0.1, we're going to use this value here. So the specific volume at a temperature of 250 is 2.406. So this is the value that we're going to use. And then we're going to also use this value here, which corresponds to the 0.2, okay? And so we're going to interpolate between those two values to be able to determine the specific volume at pressure of 0.12. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying this problem, then you're going to love our courses where we cover many concepts and we do a lot of problems and we try to cover everything that will help you guys pass your FE exam. So make sure that you check it out. Now let's go ahead, guys, and interpolate. So what I usually do is I like to write these values in this order here, okay? And then after that, what I do is I take V2 and then I do minus V1. So let's go ahead and write that down. So it's going to be V2 minus 2.406. And then we're going to divide it by V3 minus V2, okay? So that's going to be minus V1. So we're going to do 1.1988 and then minus 2.406, okay? And then we're going to do the same exact thing to the pressure. So we're going to do P2 minus P1. So that's going to be 0.12 minus 0.1, and we're going to divide it by 0.2 minus 0.1, okay? So this is how I usually do it. It's easier for me to remember. If you have an easier method, keep doing that. As long as you get the same answer, it really doesn't matter. So then if you guys plug these numbers in your calculator, you are going to get a value of 2.16 and then 46, and this is of course going to have the units of cubic meters per kilogram. Now that we found the specific volume at 2 and at 1, we can go back to this equation, plug in the numbers, and solve for the work done by the steam. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have the mass, which is 2 kilograms, and we're going to multiply it by the pressure, which is 120 kilopascal, and then multiply it by V2, which is 2.1646 minus 0.8520, which is V1, and this is going to have the units of cubic meters per kilogram. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the units. So the kilogram here cancels with this kilogram. This kilopascal is the same thing as kilonewtons per meter squared. So then the meter squared cancels with cubic meters, and here we're going to have meters. So then the kilonewtons meter, that's the same thing as kilojoules, okay? So that's the unit of work. Now, if you guys plug in these numbers in your calculator, you're going to get 315, okay? So now if we go back to the question and take a look at the multiple choice, so the answer is going to be C. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, before you go, make sure to check out this playlist here that has a lot of FE problems that's going to help you guys pass your FE exam. Now, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you guys on the next video. À la prochaine.